This is Moondance, and this is Friday, May 29th. I have some great news. It's been raining now for about 2 weeks, and apparently the weather's going to clear up next week, maybe Wednesday night. So I want to start planning for this coming Wednesday night. Um, Wednesday night will also be something of a full moon. So I need to go into my settings and pick my first of all pick my moon settings, which is basically I have moonless set right now, but I want to go to narrowband. And with narrowband, I'll just go ahead and kind of go through these settings here. Down at the bottom it says full tier, no imaging, cut off at greater than 95%. I will change it to cut off at 100%, which basically means is that I can image anything with narrowband, which is true. However, I'm not going to be using narrowband. I'm going to be using a one-shot color camera with my Celestron Origin telescope. And mostly I'm just doing a test of the camera. I'm having an issue with the camera. It's basically creating what I call vertical smears, which are basically the sensor. I think the sensor is either overstimulated or understimulated. I've seen both things online, both cases. So I'm basically going to do some testing of some settings, some ISO and exposure settings, and I'm going to use the Iris Nebula as a good testing ground because that's a real tough one, and that one shows up flaws in the camera or in the imaging very easily. So that's basically what I'm going to do this coming Wednesday night. So I'm going to save that, and since the Iris Nebula is in Cepheus and it's in the northern sky, I need to set my location. I have the front drive where I set up from when I'm shooting for the south. My house faces north. And I have the back where I set up shooting over the house facing north. And since this is in north, I'm going to choose back, front, down to bottom, which is what's already chosen. So I'm good there. So my settings are fine. Now I'm going to go to my sessions. My current session is these are some nebula I want. These are some dark nebula I want to get a hold of, but that's not going to be Wednesday night. Wednesday night's going to be testing, so I need to basically create a new session. I'll just call it Wednesday night. And there's nothing in the session, so I'm gonna go find my target, which is Iris Nebula. I could find it, and it's already saved in my collections. I could find it under my constellation collection under Cepheus. I could also find it under my Nebula constellation. But I'm gonna use the search right now because that's the quickest way to find it. And here it is, Iris Nebula. Click on it. You can see the details. You can go to images if you want to see. There's an image of it, which is showing that it's been. I have actually captured it, but I am not going to go with what I have. So I'm going to delete that image. Go to photos. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to see what Wiki has for it. That's okay. That's what Wiki has for it. And no, I have not captured it. I don't know why this thing's showing me that. We'll go with that for now. And then we will change this to not captured. Okay. Even though it is, technically speaking, I have an image of it, but I'm not happy with the image I have. So I'll mark it as not captured. All right. So now I'm going to put it in the constellation that I want, in the session that I want. Add to active session. There we go. Now it's in my session. So I go back to my sessions. Wednesday now has the Iris Nebula in it. Now I can basically, I need to pick for the chart. Now it's part of the Moondance chart, and I can run the Moondance chart, and we can see here that with my current settings, I can basically image it anytime I want. There's not gonna, I could actually show you what happens when you change your settings. If I go back to settings and say, go back to settings and do broadband, which is going to be it's going to be dependent upon the moon. It's going to be tougher to get imaging in under this particular setting. Then go back to sessions, Moondance, and you'll see how now the application shows me that, well, I can't image it until another 10 days or so, until the 18th of the month, before I can do it all night. Those little smaller areas to the left of the 18th are basically when the moon is not up. So I can image it some before the moon comes up, but I can't image it until the 18th when the moon gets down to, let's see, 43%. So anyway, but I'm not doing it that way. I'm doing it, my settings, I'm doing it with narrowband settings, since this is just a test anyway. So now we'll go back to sessions, Moondance. Okay, now, and I'm going to, on the 3rd, which is going to be this guy here. The moon is going to be 88%, so that's not too, well, anything over 3/4 is pretty bad. Iris Nebula, moon phase, 88%. There's 92 degrees of angular separation, which is good, because 90 degrees is actually the best separation you can get when the moon is out. It reduces it by a magnitude or two of, light pollution from the moon. It's not perfect. I mean, you still got to deal with the moon, but it's not nearly as bad as if you're looking somewhere else, like at 45 degrees from the moon, etc. So anyway, that's it. Session planned. Wednesday night, I might come back and add some things later from my other telescope, which I'll actually use broadband filters on and actually try to get images that I will keep. But for now, that's enough. Thanks for listening, and see the show.